nothing to talk about today. Welcome to Monday. It's gonna be a
I don't
boring
know how
one.
we're going to stretch through this 90 minutes. There's nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about.
How about that weather?
Yeah. I forgot to actually send our guest the link, so I did that during the song.
Oh, nice.
Greg Mack from 95.5 The Fish will be joining us today.
All right.
He has some thoughts on the political landscape, and he also has his bike ride starting.
What's going on
Wednesday.
in the political landscape? Is there something happening?
No, there was a Trump rally over the weekend. It went well.
I heard J.D. Vance had his first rally today, right?
Yes, apparently he did. I didn't watch it, to be honest.
I didn't watch it either. There was something else on TV that had me engrossed all day.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Where should we start with everything? Because I got thoughts on all of this stuff.
Well, I guess let's go Sunday, I guess. Let's go all the way back to yesterday.
Yeah, the biggest news, I guess, of the weekend, if you can call it that. I mean, it's all huge news.
Yeah.
Biden is out of the race. Kamala looks like the front runner, but I don't believe that's going to happen.
Well, who do you think is going to be it?
But first, let's start with the fact that Biden dropped out.
Yeah.
Because I talked to some people over the weekend, more than one, who say that now that he is gone,
Yeah.
they will go back to voting for the liberal ticket, whoever it is. Doesn't matter who it is.
Oh,
They
yeah.
weren't
I've seen
going
a
to vote
bunch
for
of that.
Biden, but now they're going to vote for whoever it is.
Yeah.
Now,
Vote
outside-
blue no matter who is the
right,
slogan,
it's
right?
the slogan that's trending, and I'm going to just say it, and I don't give a shit who likes it or not. If you're doing that, you're a traitor to this country.
Yeah.
And you don't care about this country. Mm-hmm. If you honestly think that Kamala Harris is going to be a better president than Donald Trump because you have that hatred in your heart that whatever it is, you don't like him as a person, you are a traitor to this country. Because you're willing to sacrifice the needs, hate to quote Star Trek, the needs of the many, the needs of the few. Mm-hmm. It's disgusting. In my eyes, anyways. I think it's sad. I think it's a pathetic choice. But you do what you want to do. I mean, that's why we have a free country. But if you're willing to sacrifice the principles of this country as far as the border, as far as student loans, as far as all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, John. I've heard that numerous times.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to sacrifice our country because you don't like somebody, that sounds like you're in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's playground talk. I don't like him. He's a meanie, so I'm not going to vote for him. I can't play with that guy because he's a meanie. I mean, grow up. We have a country that's at stake, and you're going to sit here and whine about the fact that somebody's mean or you don't like his attitude or whatever it is. You're a traitor to this country if you honestly would vote for one of these idiots that they have lined up.
Well, and the worst part about it, too, is that Biden already said 4 years ago that this is how he would do it, that it's all a fucking scam, and that if he thought he was going to lose, he would just magically get some disease and have to resign.
Right.
Do you remember that? I've got that video right here.
He didn't resign.
Well, he's resigned because now they're gonna push him out.
Well, they did push him out. What do you?
No, I mean they're gonna push him out. They're gonna push him out of the presidency too.
Yeah,
they have to. That's the only way Kamala can win.
They
have to push him out of the presidency, not just the election. She needs to be the sitting president in order to win.
That fool was sitting here saying all weekend long that he's not resigning.
Yeah,
or dropping out of the race. He's not going to drop out of the race. I'm not going to drop out of the race. He had people like in his campaign say, no, there's no way. He is the candidate for the duration. Yeah. And then what happens? He drops out. There's no video of him saying that he's dropping out. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's a letter that he obviously didn't write. That's not even the way that he speaks when he's coherent.
Right.
Much less, the way he is. So he didn't write the letter. And then all of a sudden another letter comes out saying, oh, by the way, I endorse Harris to be the president. Yeah. He said,
do you remember this video?
He did not endorse him or her.
Watch this video from 4 years ago. I saw this today, and I had to really watch it. And then I saw it pop up in a few places to where I'm pretty sure it's not a deep fake. But watch this. This is from 4 years ago. Watch this. Unbelievable.
But and I
hold on.
I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental
Started over here. Here we go.
And I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign. We don't have that. We haven't, and we discussed it, but.
That's all. I'll just develop some disease and I'll have to resign.
Hey, look at that.
What a fucking piece of shit.
But he didn't resign. There's no way that guy resigned. That guy was going to be.
No, he got pushed out.
To the very end. He was pushed out, whether it was Obama or whether it was whoever.
Well, it's twofold. One, he got pushed out by the establishment. Two, he ran out of money.
Well, because donors stopped giving him money. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's an idiot. He came in 50% under projections last month. And then magically, I've got COVID. Now I can't run. And I'm.
And then you're telling me that this fool came up with the idea for the debate this early in the year? No. Part of his team, somebody behind the scenes, said, "Hey, we think we should do a debate early on with Trump." This was a setup to begin with.
Of course.
Either they knew that he was going to fail, or they were seeing if he was going to fail. And then when they failed, then they decided to go ahead and do something. Mm-hmm. This is not Joe Biden's idea to do a debate in June with Donald Trump.
Well, they did it in June because they needed the time to swap him.
But that's it. Because, again, somebody was setting up either to fail or to see if he would fail. And he did. And now they have their motive for saying, he's not well.
And
what's happening, he's going to lose.
Well,
and so you decided you were going to go ahead and swap him.
And they made him a sweetheart deal over the weekend. That's why he quit. They made him a deal that's going to pardon him. It's going to pardon Hunter. It's going to pardon every. It's not out there yet, but it will be. Guaranteed. They're going to pardon every fucking crime this fucking piece of shit has done. He's going to be like pardoned in perpetuity. Him, his family, all of his people right next to him are all going to be pardoned. And that's the sweetheart deal that they're giving this piece of shit so that he walks away.
Now, I'm telling you that this was a plan from the very beginning.
Of course.
And that there was no way that he wanted to resign or step down from running in the race. But I cannot believe the reaction of some of the left. I just can't. And when I say left, I mean the people on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, or the people on Facebook and stuff. I mean, they acted like this is the best president of all time. Thank you for your achievement, Mr. President. The guy was a plagiarist and a racist throughout his entire career. If I wasn't lazy and working 2 other jobs, I would have sat here and pulled clips all day long of the racist shit that Joe Biden said throughout his career and how he plagiarized his way out of a presidency the last time. He is a crook and a thief, if nothing else, of words, and he's a loser. And I see nothing but, thank you for your accomplishments. Accomplishments of what? The Green New Deal? That's going to fall apart because it's a bunch of crap. Nobody wants electric cars, much less going to buy them unless you're forced to. This guy is a joke. He hasn't accomplished anything. Paying off student debts with my money? I'm sorry. That was put down by the Supreme Court.
Want some racism?
Yeah.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
I've adopted the attitude of the great Negro at the time. Poor kid.
What a fucking piece of shit this guy is.
He is.
Just a piece of shit. Yeah, but they're all out there celebrating him too. I saw Kamala made her first speech today and was talking about, what a great American. Like whatever.
Man, I hear what you're saying, but yet I've met him a few different times, and he does have charisma. It's a new stage for him, man. 2 weeks ago he was driving his kids around in a car. Yeah. Now he's driving around in a motorcade.
Well, the other thing, too, is people don't know him. No. You do, but most people do not know who he is. Yeah, Matt's one of these never Trumper guys.
No, I don't know Matt.
I don't know him either. I just know that he'd rather see the country burn than have Trump fix things.
And there's a lot of people like that. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, there's
I wish
Tens
we could
of
have Matt
millions of
call
them.
in. Matt, please explain to me why you would rather have the country burned to the ground and then vote for Donald Trump. Because what? Because you just don't like his personality? Is that what runs a country? Unless I saw it doesn't.
Have you forgotten the mean
what runs the
tweets?
country- I'm sorry about the mean tweets. Yeah, I apologize. Last night, what runs the country is I went to the grocery store for the first time for fucking ever because I decided I didn't want to go out dashing last night. I haven't felt good, really, to be honest with you. Got a lot of things, but I went to the grocery store last night. I got stuff to make spaghetti. Now, we're talking about the easiest meal you could possibly make, dude.
Sure.
And I got some garlic bread. I got some cat and dog food and some pop. You know what my bill was when I walked out of there? $65 to make spaghetti and get some cat and dog food and some pop and some garlic bread, dude. I didn't buy like high-end beef. It's not like I made Wagyu spaghetti. I made some spaghetti with hamburger in it. $65 I walk out of there. I wanted to pee on the counter, dude. I was like shaking so bad.
Yeah, it's out of control. All of it's out of control, and it's all Biden's. And I don't care. Everybody can fucking say, well, it's all part of Trump's this. It's been 3.5 years. Sorry, Trump doesn't get to take the penalty for this. It just doesn't work that way.
Republicans have been desperate to pin a crime on him, Biden, for 4 years. They have nothing on him. It's quite pathetic, really. You mean like they did for Trump for 4 years for the Russian hoax? You mean like they did with 92 different felony counts on Trump while he's running for office? Yeah, I think that they're the one trying to pin a crime on somebody, you ass.
Matt's a bot.
This doesn't give me an answer to the question. Just give me an answer to the fucking question, Matt. Why is Biden so good and why is Trump so bad? Is the country really running that great for you, Matt? Why don't you put a real picture up there instead of a stupid-ass cartoon, you coward?
Here's Kamala telling us how great Biden is.
And I wanted to say a few words about our president. Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history.
Would you like to comment on that? It's unmatched in modern history.
Yeah, okay. Unmatched.
Yeah, it's unmatched, all right.
This guy's the best president we've ever seen. I like him better than George Washington. I'm surprised Biden didn't actually take credit for founding the fucking country. He took credit for living with every other ethnicity known to man. I'm surprised he didn't take credit for actually founding the country.
All right, there's your challenge.
Why do I think Trump is so incredible? I don't know. The gas prices were way down. The economy was way up. There were actually companies moving back to this country to do business here. He actually
no wars
at all. He actually moved the Jewish capital. He did a lot. I mean, you're talking about a guy that put fear into our enemies. What do you mean? And if it wasn't for the fact that they released this virus, COVID, and then all of a sudden had this mail-in voting crap that you were able to do, he would have won a second term.
Hello, YouTube. All right, back to our future. Back to our future president. Here we go.
One term, he has already, yes, you may clap.
One person clapped.
In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who have served 2 terms in office. And I first came to know President Biden through his son, Beau. We worked together as attorneys general in our states. And back then, Beau would often tell me stories about his dad. He would talk about the kind of father and the kind of man that Joe Biden is. The qualities that Beau revered in his father are the same qualities that I have seen every day in our president.
Ability to funnel money to other countries, ability to hide the fact that his son was banging whores for...
We're talking about a guy that came out and said that he blackmailed Ukraine because he wanted somebody who's swapped out of it. He literally said it. He said they're not going to get the money unless they make a change. He was a criminal then. That is the definition of a crime, Matt. Last 2 Republican presidents left the office with the country entering economic ruin. A Democrat fixes it, rinse and repeat. You dumb fuck. We had
How is it
COVID-19.
fixed?
We had COVID-19 here. Of course, the economy was bad. And by the way, your fucking president tried to demand every single person to get a shot. That doesn't work apparently because President Biden got COVID again.
Which notice
Dumbass.
when he left the White House to get on the plane, he wasn't wearing his mask. So did he really have COVID? That's my question.
Well, masks don't work either. So.
Yeah, well, but not according to President Biden.
He's just trying to trigger me. I know he is. He's just a dumb fuck trying to trigger me.
Typical. It's probably his real name is probably Chiselka.
Yes, I do, Matt. Thank you for playing.
All right, do you want the rest of Kamala here?
Why not?
All right, here we go.
His honesty.
His honesty.
His integrity.
His integrity.
His commitment to his faith and his family. His big heart. And his love, deep love of our country. And I am firsthand witness that every day our President Joe Biden fights for the American people.
Just like you were a witness every day to his cognitive strength and his physical health.
Matt,
You fucking lying cunt.
She is. It's awful. She covered everything up. Seth, you know more than the House GOP investigators? No, I talk to one every single week. Literally every single week. And you know what he tells me? We are legislative. We can't go and arrest people. All we can do is give the DOJ the things that they need. And you know what? The DOJ is in the pocket of who? Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You dumbass. I talk to him Tell me who you talk to, Matt.
Well, you on YouTube. All right, a little more of
Ignorant fuck.
Kamala.
And we are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation.
We are. Thank you. Thank you, Kamala. Now I feel like I should vote for you.
I wish that I'd be more grateful if he was around for another 7 months. Stick around for the election there if he's if I'm so grateful.
Well, she has no chance of winning. She's not going to win.
They're not going to put her in. Let's see. Holy cow, Matt put the blunt down. You old enough to remember 2008 and who the president was? I love how everybody gives Bill Clinton a pass for getting blown numerous times in the Oval Office, but Donald Trump puts out a mean tweet. Everybody hates him.
Well, I've said it a million times. I don't need their morality. I just need my fucking life to be good. The things that they control, I would like them to fucking make so that my life is good. I don't give a shit what they do in their personal life. I really don't. I don't care if they fucking go to Epstein Island once a week. Just keep my grocery prices down.
Biden loves this country. I heard so many people say that yesterday. Oh, he's doing this because of the love of his country. No, he's doing it because he was told to. He's doing this because he has people like Obama that are not going to let him anywhere near this presidency.
And he's also doing it to keep his kid out of jail, which will be the deciding factor. Is that Hunter will get pardoned, and then Hunter's going to get pardoned, and then the day Trump gets into office, that laptop's going to be out there. That's what's going to happen. And then we'll realize just what a fucking monumental piece of shit Joe is. But he'll be Biden as well.
Now I have to go back here and apologize to Matt. Because he says he was 14 in 2008, so that makes him what,
24,
30 now? Yeah, he's stupid. That's his problem. He's uneducated and he's dumb. I mean, he's
indoctrinated.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So now I feel bad for you, Matt. I'm not angry with you anymore.
Yeah.
Man, the comments are really coming in today.
Yeah, they are. People are upset. I'll answer.
So who do you think is going to... Wait, I keep missing.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be a... Man, Matt's not making any friends. I'm not mad anymore, Matt. I just realized that too many people have been screaming in your brain the wrong things. Too many people have been screaming the wrong things in a Matt's head, and that's the problem with this society a lot now. I mean, the colleges and everything else are teaching our kids this horrible, horrible message of all these different things, like you don't have to work and everything's okay. I mean,
everybody owes you.
Yeah, you go to like a restaurant anymore, and like half of them are closed because they don't have staff for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Matt's generation doesn't understand what it's like to actually go out and make a buck and work hard.
Yeah. They'll pay for it later down the line when they got nothing. When they're fucking 40 plus and they don't have a house. And they're paying $2,500 a month for a fucking apartment.
Philip, I think the Dems are finally recognizing that the pendulum is swinging back to the other direction, and people are completely sick of that shit. I agree. I mean, people are sick of the liberal trans bullshit of cutting your kids' genitals off at the age of 8 or 9, let them decide what kind of sex they want to be. People are tired of this agenda. People are tired of the different months. Everybody gets a fucking month for something special that they are. We're Americans. Celebrate that. But I think people are getting tired of all this junk. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Seth.
If you haven't noticed, one particular Democrat is not lining up.
Who's that?
Be the to support Captain Harris here.
Barack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I even saw Hillary Clinton did.
Yes.
Which surprised me because I thought that she was going to be the one to step in.
Look,
you think it's going to be Big Mike?
I think it's going to be Big Mike. I think this is all well and good right now because they got to show some support to the black female, even though she's not black and we don't know if she's female. But you got to show her some support. But they're going to drag this thing out to the convention. They'll have an open convention. I mean, even Gretchen Whitmer, who is supposed to be her VP pick, said, "I'm not taking a VP pick." I truly believe that it's going to come down to the convention. Oh, by the way, in Chicago, which happens to be the adopted home of Michelle and Barack Obama. And, I think you're going to see a convention where she walks out the nominee.
My thing with Harris is I don't think she can raise the money. And
look,
and the Obamas can.
People are going to look at the polls. Even the polls today say that
she would lose
on Democrat polls.
Biden. Yeah.
Democratic polls show that she'd still lose to Trump.
By more than Biden would.
Some of them, yes.
Some
of them it's a little bit closer, but most of them are saying by at least the same amount.
Which means nobody's going to throw money at her, which means that she's not a viable candidate. Nobody can stuff their pockets with green.
This is going to go to the convention.
But the Obamas can raise money.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it would be Hillary Clinton, personally. Not because she can win, but Lord knows she can stuff everybody's fucking pockets full of money and kill anybody that gets in her way. Allegedly kill people.
Yeah, but I saw somebody say that the other night that it was going to be Hillary before he announced his stepping down. But with her supporting Harris, I think that's probably going to be.
Yeah, she wouldn't have come out and supported Harris if she was going to run.
No.
Because that would look really bad. But I could see it being Big Mike.
I just don't think. I think they're. Look.
The Big Mike Oprah ticket.
I think that every liberal agenda. Yes. I think that every liberal agenda is retarded and stupid, and I don't get any of it. Paying for people's debts when they're the ones that signed up for it. I mean, as small as that may seem, it's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense. So every liberal agenda is just stupid. Changing kids' sexes at the age of 8, 9, 10 years old is just stupid. You shouldn't do it, but you do it anyways because you're a left liberal hack.
Right.
But so they're dumb in that regard. Their agendas are dumb. Not supporting Israel, who was attacked by a terrorist group, and then they fight back and they don't support them, and they let people burn down college campuses. It's just stupid. So the liberal agenda is dumb. But all in all, they're smart people, and they will realize that Harris is not a good candidate, even a little bit.
Well,
the
only thing that makes me think Kamala could run, and again, I don't follow it as close as you do, But I know this. Kamala is really tight with Soros's kid, that Nick Soros,
Yeah.
who apparently controls all the money. Nick is apparently the controller of the $25 billion worth of Soros money. And if she can't raise the money, but Soros is behind her, she won't need to raise the money. Which means that she would blindly walk through and do his agenda for him, which is straight up one world government. She would definitely go that way. So I could see that. I could definitely see that happening.
I gotta see if I can find this clip on somewhere because it was
What are you looking for?
hysterical. Kamala Harris talking about Ukraine.
Kamala Harris, Ukraine talk.
Problem is that there's gonna be like 9,000 clips of her trying to talk about.
Ukraine is a country.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Europe.
Is it 20 seconds long?
It might be.
Russia. Russia is a bigger
Yeah, I've
country.
got it.
Russia is a powerful country.
All right.
I got it. I can put it up. You got to go to X, man. That's where everything is. It's so easy.
Well, I just went to
find.
TikTok and I got it right away. Yeah, this is a.
What a punchable face.
Can you play it?
In Europe, it exists next to another. Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
That's the fucking president. That's who they want to be president of the United States.
Well, in fairness, that is way more cognizant than the current president.
Okay, if she was talking to like kindergartners, that would be great. Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong. That is the next president of the United States, according to the liberals. I don't think they're that dumb. They're dumb, like really dumb, but they're not that dumb. They might be good at, I don't know what they're good at, but they're not that stupid to put that thing up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll know shortly because they don't have a whole lot of time. They don't.
And see, there goes Matt. This clip is actually how you need to explain things to the median voter in this country.
Shut up, Matt.
You have to be. I mean, he put LMAO. Yeah, he's screwing around, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean, come on. If you really want to be spoken to like a fucking dummy, then that says more about the voting public than stupid ass Kamala. She's stupid.
Here's Matt being stupid again. Yet most of the GOP base thinks that Russia is in the right. Nobody ever said Russia's in the right, you dumbass. We're just tired of spending billions of our dollars to go over there and help something that isn't our fight right now. How many billions do you need? And do you want to really start attacking Russia on the ground or in the air with American troops and American military stuff? You do not. Oh, by the way, Matt, come on, grow up. You know that we don't want to see innocent civilians die. I care about the people of Ukraine. I don't want to see billions and trillions of our dollars going over there when we have an ally that's been attacked and we're not helping them.
Yeah, I couldn't give a fuck about the people of Ukraine. Keep that money and get my grocery price down.
And oh, by the way, the Ukrainian government is as corrupt as the Biden government because that's who's been working with them for the past however many years.
Yeah. All right, you want to move to today's news? Because we're going to get stuck in this thing for the whole show. Would you like to move to today?
Yeah, I know. Ukraine is more vulnerable.
Again, I don't give a shit. Even if what Matt says there is true, who gives a fuck? Not our problem. Not our problem. We do not have to fucking babysit everybody else that's a fucking pussy. If they're too pussy to take care of their country, then that's on them if they lose it. Fuck them. And if they all die in the process, sucks. Sucks to have bloody streets. Protect your own. And this comes from somebody that did defend our country and did stand in front of fucking the firing line. More years ago than Matt has been alive. Anyway, let's kill this here. Global supply. What supplies are we getting from the fucking Ukraine? Stop being stupid. Stop being so stupid. All right, here we go. So anyway, moving on to today. Today was a big day, dude. For Kim, is her name Kim Cheatle?
Yes.
The head of the Secret Service. Today was the day that she had to go in front of Congress in the hearings about the assassination attempt. And I got to tell you, Seth.
Yep.
I have never in his life. I'm 55 years old. I have never seen a beatdown like I saw. I watched all of it today. I watched all 5-6 hours, whatever it was, of it today. Quite literally every single person, every single one of them, Democrat and Republican, were like, "You're a piece of shit. You should step down now." One of them said, and I think I have the clip of it. She said, "I'm going to ask you a series of yes or no questions," because she was dodging every question.
Oh, yeah.
She just wouldn't answer anything. So she goes, "I'm going to ask you a series of yes or no questions, and I only want yes or no answers. First question is, would you like me to give you my 5 minutes so you can draft your resignation speech?" I was fucking dying. I mean, they were brutal to her, man. They beat the shit out of her.
And Snipes here is correct on both sides, man.
Yes.
Like both sides were relentless, and you don't see that very often. Like I saw a guy today, I think it was a congressman, who said, "We don't agree on whether the sky is blue or gray or whatever it is outside." He's like, "But we agreed on this one. She's got to go."
Every single person said, "You need to resign. You need to step down now." Every one of them. There was no niceness about it. They were all like, "You suck at your job. We're scared for our lives. You need to go." I mean, they really smashed her. Watch, I'll share some of the videos.
Couple clips here.
Yeah. So here is what is her name? Mace? I don't even know where she's from. Nancy Mace.
Yeah.
She fucking dropped the hammer. She's using profanity and everything.
Just so you know, I think there's bikini pictures of her.
Good. I'd like to see. She's kind of hot, but
Yes. Okay.
and she's even hotter the fact that she uses real terminology and doesn't act act like an idiot. But
Yep.
I loved this clip. This was so good.
Answers. Most of my questions are going to demand a yes or no answer. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, my first question. Both sides of the aisle today have asked for your resignation. Would you like to use my 5 minutes to draft your resignation letter? Yes or no?
That's hilarious. All right, here we go.
No, thank you.
Was this a colossal failure?
It was a failure.
Yes or no? Was it a colossal failure is the question. Yes or no?
I have admitted this is a terrible.
This is a yes or no series of questions. Was this a colossal failure? Yes or no?
Yes.
Was this tragedy preventable? Yes or no?
Yes.
Has the Secret Service been transparent with this committee?
Yes.
Would you say the fact that we had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today as being transparent? Yes or no?
I have always been
Yes
eager to
or no?
come
You didn't
and
want to
talk
answer
to
the
committee.
question. We had to issue a subpoena to get you to show up today. That is not transparent, by the way. You stated earlier, Secret Service is not political. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say leaking your opening statement to Punchbowl News, Politico's Playbook, and Washington Post several hours before you sent it to this committee as being political? Yes or no?
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Well, that's bullshit. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record articles by Punchbowl News, Political Playbook, Washington Post, all done at 5:24 a.m., 6:12 a.m., 6:34 a.m., a solid 3 to 4 hours before this committee got your statement.
Without objection, so ordered.
Okay.
She just hammers it. Watch, she keeps going. It's so great.
I love her. I could watch her all day
She's
for
fantastic.
many different reasons.
Yeah, she's good to look at too. All right, here we go.
Is the Secret Service fully cooperating with our committee?
Yes.
Okay, you say you're fully cooperating with this committee. On July 15th, this committee sent you a list of demands of information that we wanted. Has the Secret Service provided this committee a complete list of all law enforcement personnel that were there that day? Have you done that? Have you provided a list to the Oversight Committee? Yes or no?
I will have to get back to you on that.
That is a no. Have you provided all audio and video recordings in your possession to this committee, as we asked on July 15th? Yes or no?
I would have to get back to you.
That is a no. You're full of shit today. You're just being completely dishonest.
She is awesome.
You're full of shit.
Sitting there thinking maybe I've been swearing too much on this. She doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, this is going on in Congress. All right, here we go.
Mr.
Chairman,
Mr.
Chairman, I want to.
Come on.
We have to maintain decorum in this committee, no matter how
have you provided
upset we
any
get.
and all memos to this committee that we've asked you on July 15th? Have you provided all memorandums within the Secret Service?
I would have to get back to you on that.
That is a no. You are being dishonest or lying. Like you're being dishonest here with this committee. These are important questions that the American people want answers to, and you're just dodging and talking around it in generalities. And we had to subpoena you to be here, and you won't even answer the questions. We have asked you repeatedly to answer our questions. This isn't hard. These are not hard questions. Have you provided us all communications from the Secret Service related to that day and that rally? Have you provided this committee? We've asked for this information on July 15th. Have you provided any of this information that this committee has asked of the Secret Service? Any of it?
I'll have to get back to you.
Have you even read this letter that we sent you? Did you even read this?
Yes.
Okay. And you have said you don't know, you have no idea. Well, the answer is no. We haven't gotten a single document or piece of information or data from you or your agency in related to the rally that we have asked you for. So was this attempted assassination of Donald Trump a failure of training or execution or both?
I think that those are answers that we need to
Training,
examine.
execution, or both? Which one?
I think those are answers.
All right.
we
How
need to
many
determine.
how many Secret Service personnel have lost their jobs due to this colossal failure?
At this time, none.
How many Secret Service personnel have been required to take a refresher course on how not to let people shoot Donald Trump?
Our personnel are currently operational. We are examining the facts of this investigation, and we will make the changes necessary.
What time did law enforcement become aware that there was an individual on the roof with a clear line of sight to President Trump?
I am still verifying timelines.
Of course, 9 days in, you have no answers. How many minutes went by between the time law enforcement saw and took photos of crooks and the shooting? How many minutes?
I am still verifying timelines.
57 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back. Answered.
She smoked her, man.
By the way, this is, I wanted to look at, I want to hear some more videos if we have them.
Oh, I have more.
But this is correct. Benjamin Netanyahu has requested a meeting with Trump when he's here in the United States.
He's like, yeah, I'm not going to fucking waste my time with any of these knotheads. All right,
she's doing it for Fox Cloud. That's just not accurate.
I would love.
You're right. I agree with him on one thing here, Matt. I agree with you on absolutely one thing. Nothing actually gets done. You know why? And I said this about Republicans nonstop, and I will say it again. They don't play the same dirty ass fights that the liberals play. Yeah. They should, because these committees and stuff aggravate the hell out of me, because there is proof. There is stuff that they're showing, and yet nothing gets done. So I'll agree with you on that one. You're still an ass. No, I like you, man.
I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here. I'm saying she's the sacrificial lamb that's going to go into a $10 million retirement because she's walling off the FBI being intentional in intentionally setting up this coup to kill Trump.
Yeah. There's something big.
And I believe that.
I agree that with 100%. I think there's something huge that she's holding up and not telling us.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Look, Bob wanted to run this press conference this morning, and I said, all right, and I turned it on, and after her first statement, I told him, we can't run this.
Yeah, because it's
like,
just,
why? He's like, because she said in her opening statement, I'm not going to answer anything.
Yeah, and she doesn't. She never did. She answered more than I thought. I was surprised when she said that, like in that last one, I was surprised when she said, yes, it could be prevented. All right, here we go.
What else is she going to say?
Yeah. Well, here she is now with, what's her name? Representative Anna Paulina Luna. I don't know who she is.
Okay.
But she gets her to fucking straight up lie, and then she starts shaking after she got caught lying. So good. Here we go.
Director Cheatle, can you please give me the names of the individuals who are in charge of your con-op for the rally?
Oh, she's hot too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to release names.
Can you give me the
today.
titles? And how many individuals?
No.
Nothing?
We had a full advance team that was responsible for advancing
How many
the site.
people are the final approval authority?
There are a number of people
Can you
that
give me a
are
number?
engaged in approving
Can you
the
give
plan.
me a number?
No, I do not have
Okay.
a firm number.
Can you just confirm whether or not, I understand this is an open investigation, but in order to dispel conspiracy theories, have you guys been able to subpoena the shooter's Discord records, or has the FBI, to your knowledge?
I believe that the FBI is working on those.
Okay. Is it factual to say that you have not ruled out that the shooter was working with other people or persons?
Again, the FBI is conducting the criminal investigation into
Can
the
you,
shooter.
at least in an effort to dispel conspiracy theories, can you confirm or deny that?
At this time, we do not have that there were any other people engaged.
So you believe he was acting alone?
I do.
Okay. Have you been made aware of multiple eyewitness reporting that there was a second shooter on a water tower?
I do not have any information related to any second shooter.
Okay, the reason I asked that is because according to testimony from multiple witnesses, they did report that. And again, to my understanding, there were over 40 sniper teams that were briefed by the Butler ESU. And I want to make sure that people are aware, if you're saying that there's not another shooter, that we are able to clear that information, because from this whole entire briefing, it doesn't seem like much information has been able to get out to the American people. So I'm trying to dispel rumors, as I'm sure you understand. Was it true that Secret Service was present at the Butler ESU briefing?
There was a briefing between the counter sniper teams that were working
Secret
on the
Service
ground.
present?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, I want to read you a report from people that seem to be throwing you under the bus and stated that they were in attendance and that Secret Service was not in attendance at the security briefing, according to individuals with knowledge, to also include that the AGR building where the shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks was located was actually not a part of their security perimeter for that. So there was not Secret Service present. It seems as though that when you were asked earlier from Rep. Krishnamurthy about whether or not Secret Service was aware of a threat, you had said no, they were unaware of a threat. And yet, according to communications, again, from law enforcement that were in some of these group chats, they actually had reported that Secret Service was made aware of a threat at around 5:59 p.m. as a part of the command, including Secret Service, aware of messages and requests about information about the suspect's location. Can you please tell me if you have knowledge of that at all?
Again, I think we're conflating the difference between the term threat and suspicious.
But you guys did have knowledge at 5:59 p.m. according to those group chats, did you not?
Of a suspicious individual.
Okay. Chairman, in my opinion, according to some of the testimony today, I feel that you have perjured yourself in some instances. And so I'm going to ask for a full review of the transcripts by staff. And if you find that to be the case, I do ask that you bring perjury charges against the director. I will say this, it is very frustrating, and I've talked to my colleagues and we've said it to your face, that you have been up here basically stonewalling our ability to get the answers to the American people. And what I will also say is that every single member of Congress does not feel safe with you in charge. You have heard that, and I think that we are all sitting ducks with you in directing the Secret Service currently. But more importantly, it sends a message to our adversaries that we are not protected, and we are one of the strongest countries in the world, so you have essentially made us a less safe country because of it. As a result of that, I'm asking you to formally step down. I share my same opinions as my Democrat colleagues. And I also think that your efforts to bring forward a full investigation and report in 60 days is unacceptable. And as a result of that, I'm going to do everything in my legislative toolkit to ensure that that happens sooner rather than later. And I'm sure that you know that we brought a vote on inherent contempt against Garland for essentially blocking a congressional investigation. And I don't think that you should be any different. So I will say that I am just completely disgusted by your performance today. And I understand that you're probably in a position where you're being told not to testify, which is why we had to subpoena you. I think that goes back to Garland. But again, that is part of the flushing that we need to get out of Washington, and I would be happy to assist in that process. Chairman, I yield the rest of my time. Director.
I mean, they are dropping nuclear warheads on her head.
She doesn't seem to care.
She don't care. Why would she? Again, I think she's getting a $10 to $20 million buyout to take the fall. Because they'll fire her and then it'll stop. Then that'll be the end of the investigation. That's how this bullshit always works.
This is the problem, though. And I totally agree. And maybe Matt might agree with something like this. We, the people, will not get any answers. We're not getting anything. We won't get anything. We're not going to get the real story about what happened behind Biden dropping out of this race. We're not going to get the real story about any of this stuff.
No,
we're not going to get the real story about this kid. Now, it could all likely be a psycho,
no way,
retarded kid that decided he's going to, kill the president or kill Trump, and he's going to, see if he can just make it through. And he made it through, and there were some security failures, and it just happened.
No chance.
You don't think there's a chance that it is what it is?
No. There's too many flaws that a security team on that level would not let happen.
So
ladders, range finders in the guy's hand, openly using an hour of a suspicious person with nobody questioning that person, person climbing on a roof, person flinging around a gun, people videotaping. This is fucking JFK 2, man.
So somebody
it is
had to
a straight coup.
This kid. Somebody had to hire
it's a
this
straight
kid to do all
coup.
this?
Then and they're saying, and again, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat, but they're saying that they found fucking monies or something tied to other countries on his computer and all kinds of shit. So,
I apologize for using the R word.
I don't retarded.
I obviously don't mean mentally challenged people.
Yeah, just means
they are mentally
people.
challenged, but it is what it is.
Yeah, just means stupid people. All right, so you want Marjorie? What's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah, I mean AOC. I think even agreed with this whole bunch of shit that's going on with this bro getting fired and everything else.
Yeah, and she's as retarded as anybody. See, I used it again. All right, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene dropping some bombs.
He did use a drone to recon the area.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother thing. They would not have let that happen. Come on. All right, here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Cheatle, I'd like to remind you that you're under oath. The site team has a senior supervisor, an advanced team, a protective intelligence team, a counter sniper element, and detail. Who was the agent in charge? How long has she been the agent in charge? And what is her Secret Service background?
So I'm not going to provide a name.
Why not? You're here to answer our questions.
Forum. I'm not going to provide names of.
You stated in your testimony, you said, I am here today to answer your questions.
That is correct.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to provide names of our personnel.
Why not?
Today.
The American people are demanding these answers from you today, Ms. Cheatle.
I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time.
You're not answering our questions. The advance element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advance report. Have you brought it here with you today?
We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested.
When will that be, Ms. Cheatle? Because you should have brought it today.
I am certain that our personnel are working on obtaining all of that documentation.
I don't believe you, and neither do the people watching this hearing. You're not doing well, as Mr. Moskowitz informed you. You've been sitting here for over 3 hours, And I have you know the entire country is demanding you resign and demanding that you be fired if you do not resign. Things are not going well for you. You need to answer the questions. Was there a protective intelligence team, and what technical resources were utilized for that event, specifically drone or helicopter assets?
There were a number of technical assets that were deployed for that event, and there was a protective intelligence team that was assigned to that event.
Why was Crooks able to fly a drone over the entire area the day of the rally and the day of his assassination attempt?
To my knowledge, he did not fly the drone over the entire area.
How did he fly a drone over the area, period? Any part of the area?
Again, I would have to go back and check the timeline of when that took place and when the event...
Why didn't you bring the timeline with you today to answer our questions?
I don't have all of the answers on the timelines based on the criminal investigation.
Were you not prepared today to answer our questions?
I am prepared to answer the questions based on the information and wanted to be able to provide.
Do you have a timeline at all from any of the day?
I have a timeline that does not have specifics.
That's shocking. That is absolutely unacceptable. That means you are a failure at your job. Let's talk about things that are prohibited in Trump rallies. And I've been to a lot of Trump rallies.
She's just dropping hammers on this
I love it.
fucking chick's head, and she needs it, but my God. I have a timeline, but I can't tell you any of the times on the timeline. What the fuck is that? Somewhere between midnight and midnight, this happened. What the hell? Oh, my God.
We've interviewed Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's just, some people find her obnoxious. Maybe she is, but I thoroughly enjoy her.
Well, she's dropping hammers on this one. So, all right, here we go.
Backpacks and bags, bicycles, firearms, any type of weapon, or any other item determined to be a potential safety hazard, like a rangefinder would be one. At 5:10, Crooks is first observed by one of the snipers, AGR Sniper 1, at the building. 5:10, President Trump was shot in the face at 6:11 p.m. 5:28, AGR Sniper 1 takes a picture of a bicycle and 2 bags. Those belong to Crooks. 5:32, AGR Sniper 1 spots Crooks looking at his phone and using a rangefinder. 5:55, Butler ESU Command confirms receipt of photos and states they have been relayed on. 6:05 p.m., AGR Sniper 1 later communicates that Crooks is seen moving northeast in direction of Sheets and that Crooks has a backpack. 2 minutes before the shooting, while President Trump has been allowed to take the stage, people see Crooks laying on his stomach in a sniper position on the roof, and they're yelling he has a gun, and they are trying to alert law enforcement and Secret Service. Why was Crooks not shot by the snipers? Why was he allowed to be there?
As soon as the individual was identified as a threat, they were...
No. What do you consider to be a threat? A man with a gun laying in a sniper position, a man that had a backpack, a man that had a bicycle, a man that had a rangefinder. At what point is he determined a threat?
An individual with a backpack is not a threat. An individual with a rangefinder is not a threat.
What about a man laying on a building that has direct line of sight of President Trump with a gun that people are screaming and pointing out? Is that a threat, Ms. Cheatle?
Once that individual was identified, they were neutralized.
No, they were neutralized. Crooks was neutralized after he shot President Trump in the face, Ms. Cheatle.
Jesus.
Is he only a threat once he fires the weapon?
As soon as the counter sniper identified that individual, they were able to neutralize them.
How were people in the crowd? Okay, then let's just take it this way. People under your command did not consider him to be a threat, yet people in the crowd knew he had a gun and considered him to be a threat. That means that you are a complete failure as the director of the Secret Service that people under your command don't perceive a man laying on a roof with direct line to the president with a gun. They don't perceive that to be a threat, yet the people in the crowd do. How is that possible?
That's the last question, but please answer the question, Ms. Director.
I'm not certain at this time how the information from the people in the crowd was relayed to any law enforcement personnel.
No, you knew that everyone knew. The people there knew that there was a danger. They knew there was a threat to President Trump, and it was allowed to happen. Was there a stand-down order, Ms. Cheatle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation?
Last question, but please answer, and then I'll recognize Ms. Presley. Please answer that question. Director.
That is what we are investigating to determine.
We're waiting for your letter. We are waiting for your letter of resignation, and you really need to consider doing that before you leave today.
Chair, now recognize.
Dude, it's like you've got to go back and watch it. It's all out there on Rumble.
Yeah.
It is just 5 of the most compelling. I picked 3. Every single person has the same attitude. Every single person.
Matt says MTG is the poster girl for dumb American politicians. I think AOC takes the cake on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think AOC is way
Look her
higher
up.
up the
Look her up.
ladder.
She didn't even know what a garbage disposal is, you dumbass.
Yeah, AOC is definitely. Hell, I think Kamala's dumber than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Kamala's a fucking big bag of stupid herself.
The American people might not need to know, but you're right. The family of the fallen firefighter that was there deserved to know why.
Hmm? Yeah, I mean, the only reason I could see her taking these bullets is that she's got a deal already in place.
Oh, yeah.
That she won't go to jail and that she'll be taken care of.
Yeah. Either she'll be fired or she'll step down or something, but she'll be taken care of.
She's going to be fired. She's going to stick in there to be fired. Because if she steps down, then they'll go and investigate who's behind her. If she's fired, then it closes off. You know what I mean? Then it's like, well, we did what we had to do to straighten out the situation. You know, that's the line that they'll go with, and then they'll freeze it off there. And then you watch this fucking dumb cunt will write a book that she'll write about my time in the Secret Service, and she'll get some amazing $20 million advance for her book. You watch. That's exactly how this is going to play. Because it's all prearranged.
Yeah, this do you realize the kind of news cycle we've been in since last Saturday when Trump was shot?
Crazy.
Trump was shot. A week later, the president is getting out of the race for president. Yeah. And we have the Secret Service lady who in charge, a DEI hire, obviously, who doesn't know anything, has never been briefed on anything, has no clue what the hell is going on, or is just stonewalling and hiding everything that she...
Well, she has that timeline with no times on it. That's the best line of the whole goddamn thing. Do you have a timeline? Yes, but it doesn't have exact points on it. Well, what the fuck is that?
I mean, that's generally what the timeline is made for.
That's a timeline says point 1 is at 4:02, then 4:04, then 4:00. That's a timeline. Points. I have a timeline, but no points are on it.
I mean, do you realize that they tried to make Donald Trump a threat to democracy? I mean, that's what Biden has been saying for years now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the true threat to democracy. They're taking away the millions of people that voted for Joe Biden to make him the nominee. And then on top of that, they're not allowing or didn't allow a guy like RFK to get on stage. Yeah. And they suppressed people that could actually run against Biden because they are the true threat to democracy. And I talked to people over the weekend who are these liberal, psychotic people who just don't like Donald Trump, just don't like him. They have nothing bad to say about any policy because they can't name a policy because they don't pay attention to anything that he's done other than the fact that he's Donald Trump and I hate him. And so They are the threat to democracy. They're the ones that you project, I guess, like those people say, what you're actually doing. Usually the person who's asking his wife 1,000 times, are you cheating me? Are you cheating me? Are you cheating me? Is the guy that's actually cheating on his wife.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what these people are doing.
Yeah. It's a bad... It really... I think this assassination failing really opened the door for regular people to realize just how corrupt it all is. Because now you're seeing it in real time, how corrupt it all is.
Do you think if they would have taken Donald Trump out, that Biden steps down from this race?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because they wouldn't need him to. Because there's nobody... I mean, who are they going to legitimately run as president behind Trump?
DeSantis, Nikki Haley?
Yeah, but they don't have a chance. They wouldn't have a chance. Nobody has a chance. Trump is a... I mean, he's listed as a Republican, but he's his own entity. He really is.
I agree.
And nobody from a traditional posture could stand up to the money-making system that is the Democratic Party. You know, they print money to run on these campaigns. And DeSantis or Nikki Haley or whatever, they're not going to get that kind of money. And so they're not going to be able to compete. Now, if they would have gotten their way, in my mind, Trump would have been taken out and the election would have been over. Just like we were all saying on the last week that photo was like the end of the election cycle.
Yeah.
You know, the photo with him with his fist up and the bloody face and stuff. And I still think that. I think that was the end of the election cycle. But I think the same thing. If Trump would have been JFK'd, I think that would have been the end of it that way as well. We would have just run somebody out there to just get smoked. You know, the only votes they would have got would have been sympathy votes for Trump. And that would have been it. It would have been done.
So I leave this text up here on purpose. His only policy is tax cuts for the rich.
Is it?
So that means you're just stupid again, Matt. I mean, why do you want to keep posting stuff that proves how dumb you are? His policies on the border, oh, by the way, shut it down for the most part. We had less illegal immigration than we ever had in this country.
That was clearly Obama's doing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It was Obama's wall. So just to name one there, Matt, and I hate to tell you this too, buddy. I've never worked for a broke person. You know why? Because if a broke person doesn't have money, they fire you.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm happy sometimes if the rich get tax cuts, because you know what happens if they get their taxes cut? They hire more people. Mm-hmm. They're able to keep costs down of goods. I mean, that's what happens.
Oh, Matt's generation thinks that they're somehow owed something.
You're not owed anything, Matt.
You're not owed shit. I own businesses.
You know what happens when McDonald's and their shit goes up and they don't get tax cuts? They put in kiosks and then they fire everybody. So now when you go to a McDonald's, you have to go to the counter. You ain't seeing anybody.
Yeah.
And I hate to tell you, it's happening all over the place. It's happening at banks. It's happening at restaurants. I mean, Steak and Shake. I used to go to Steak and Shake all the time. My daughter and I loved it. We'd make the little hats and put together a little car and stuff. And it was great. Mm-hmm. It was cheap food. But it was a good Sunday morning for us to go out and have some food. Right. And you know what they do now? They don't have waiters and waitresses there anymore. When you go in, you pick a place to sit. You go up to a kiosk. You order. Then you go pick up your food from the counter and go sit back down. They got rid of them. You know, and Joe Biden can sit there and clamor all he wants about the job reports that come out. You know that most of them are part-time shit jobs? That's fine. Or government jobs. But they're not jobs for the middle class to survive on. I don't care if you create 200,000 jobs. If they're shitty jobs, what difference does it make? You have no idea what you're talking about, Matt. You have no idea how this works.
Well, you keep reading his posts. You keep reading his posts.
Because he's aggravating to me.
Just skip it. Who gives a shit?
Well, I know. I mean, because I like to prove the stupidity of somebody that is, I guess, just young and dumb and been indoctrinated. That's entertainment to me.
Do I got to bring Chiselka back to unite everybody?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll be doing.
Is that what I need to do? Do I need to get Yaselka back on here to help unite you?
The greatest show ever is coming our way. Watch out. God, you're so dumb. All right, we have our guest on the line. I'm gonna ignore Matt's post for now.
All right.
I think we have somebody with some intelligence joining us.
All right.
But he's got one more. You were so stupid. There's a reason why they call the Bidens and everybody the elites, dude. What do you think George Soros is? What do you think? What's his name?
What, Nick Soros?
No, the other
Rothschild.
They're all liberal elites.
Well, here, just real quick, and then we'll bring Greg on. But I'll just make a simple. I'll play to the transfer of wealth. When Trump left office, gas was $1.70 a gallon. What is it now? $3.70 a gallon?
I paid $3.59 the other day.
So roughly, it's up $2 a gallon. Why did Trump not do that if he wanted to transfer quick wealth, and especially in a time where he was saying that we needed to drill, baby, drill, and create more gas?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just say, well, let's do less gas and keep the price going up, so he could transfer the wealth to the rich people that own the fucking gas stations?
Yeah,
That's just one example. Just one.
Just one. Matt knows. I got to stop. I got to calm myself. Deep breaths, because we have a man of God coming on.
Oh, and I'm dropping F-bombs. Sorry.
Greg Mack, how are you, my friend?
I'm a terrible example of a man of God.
95.5, The Fish.
Okay, so, I work on The Fish. So that's my godly resume right there.
That's the extent of it. Forget about all those times in the flats and everything else. We won't talk about those times.
All the F-bombs I drop off the air, Yeah. No, I'm here to unite everybody.
That's right.
Yes. So tell everybody what you do. You are on The Fish, but I see you at all times of the day, so I don't actually know what you do. I assume that you just hang out there and ride bikes to radio stations and just chill and then leave.
Yeah, well, I do more behind the scenes than in front of the microphone, which is pretty common in radio these days.
Yeah.
In fact, almost my entire air shift today was voice tracked because I've got so much to do before I head out to Pan, Ohio. So I'm like working on logs and listening to myself on the radio.
So you're part of Afternoons with Friends, though, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix match of people that do afternoons throughout the week.
Right. What we try to do is do some breaks together, all three of us. But basically, the original premise of the show was, Greg's going to be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Christine will be on Tuesday. Josh will be on Thursday or whatever. And I'm just like, that's just, I hate inconsistency in radio. So I said, well, let's get in the studio together, cut some breaks. So, we pre-record a bunch of breaks. Sometimes we do them live if we happen to be there all together live. But Christine's got a busy schedule. So does Josh. I mean, Josh does more on your side of things over on WHK than he does The Fish. So, yeah, we're all really busy.
I'll tell you what, though, I enjoy The Fish. And, I know a lot of people aren't into that kind of music. I am. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, the Christian artists have really...
It's a lot different than people think.
Right. When I first started at The Fish back in the early 2000s, it was stereotypical Christian music.
It was a half step up from hymns.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's it. That's not it anymore. I mean, country music has also evolved. I mean, country music evolved into more rock pop kind of stuff, and I think Christian music is kind of evolved.
Some country music songs, I can't tell whether I'm listening to WGAR or Z1079. It sounds like hip hop.
Yeah. Well, and Christian music's gotten that way too. They've really taken the pop element and a lot of the rock element.
Oh yeah.
I mean, bands like Skillet come to mind as if somebody doesn't tell you.
Over.
Yeah, but if somebody didn't tell you that they were a Christian band, you would just think, another cool 2000s band.
Right. Right.
Now, does Jars of Clay still make music?
Not that I know of.
When I was growing up, I love that band, and I only had a couple of hits that I knew, but they played it like on MMS or at least one of them.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
while.
We were playing them on the Fish back in the day.
Like,
In fact, they were definitely one of the hipper groups we were playing back then. You know.
All right, so we've been talking all day. I'll get your thoughts on all this stuff first before we get into why you're here.
Mhm.
You're going to talk about a
Well,
good cause.
yeah, Matt doesn't know what he's talking about. First of all,
Yeah, thank you.
He sounds like every liberal I argue with on Facebook.
Yeah,
No, the Republicans are for big corporations. Oh yeah, who paid for all those jabs that we had to take for the last 4 years?
Yeah. Oh no, those are small pharmaceutical companies. That I think they're based out of Idaho somewhere.
Mom and pop pharmaceutical
Yes,
companies. Sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
sure that
right.
Jeff Bezos and no, he's not a big corporation, is he? No.
Oh no.
Oh. George
No.
Soros, he doesn't support any big corporations, right? No.
Oh, he owns what? 6 big media corporations, among
No,
other things.
Forget about that.
And don't get me started on Soros and on Klaus Schwab. I mean, they are the Democrat Party. I mean, Joe. It doesn't matter if it's Kamala Harris or Kamala, however you say her name, or Michelle Obama, or Gavin Newsom. It's all going to be the same because the Democrat Party is run by Klaus Schwab and George Soros and the World Economic Foundation. That's it.
Yep.
I totally agree with you. And we were talking about the attempted assassination, talking about the Secret Service today, who the head of it had her press conference, or I guess grilling or whatever you want to call it.
Hearing.
At which she said nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I was listening to the replay of the Bob France show this afternoon while I was doing logs, as a matter of fact. And I heard Bob tease that he was going to play that conference.
Yeah.
I hope you guys, your dump button's working over there in the HK studio, because I heard what's her name say told her that it was absolute bullshit. And I was like, whoa.
Well, I actually told Bob, because I started listening to it at the very beginning, and I listened to her opening statement where she said, I'm not going to answer about this. I'm not going to answer about that. I'm not going to answer about this. I told Bob, there's no point in running this press conference because she ain't going to say anything.
Right. And you know what? The more and more that she keeps quiet, the more it looks like a cover up and an inside job.
Absolutely.
I'm leaning that way hard. And I said this to Seth last week. I used to do that kind of work when I was in the military on a much smaller level. I was not a Secret Service guy, but no, I guarded one general. But I still had the same kind of responsibilities. Going out, pre-surveying, finding lanes of opportunity, identifying, that's what we did. There's no way is this just screw-ups.
Chris, what would have happened if that general got shot and killed under your watch?
I'd still be in prison. I would still be in prison today. Believe me, if I always had it in my mind, I was never afraid, but I always had it in my mind that if a bullet flies, I hope it hits me, because I did not want it to hit him.
Right.
Because they would have made it way worse on me than death. I'd have been in Fort Leavenworth forever.
Jeez.
And no, there was no tolerance for it then. And again, this was 10 rungs lower than a former president and probably the next president.
Mm-hmm.
And at that level, we had to go out and survey days in advance. And this is before we had computers and drones and everything. We had to literally walk the entire area and identify, and it was all math, quite honestly, which makes no sense because I'm terrible at math. But we used to literally have to sit there and be like, okay, well, this has this divided by this, and the what is that? Geometry
angles and whatnot.
We had to do all that geometry to figure out, well, this would be a 20% most likely, and this would be a 10%, and this would be a 3%, and and then weather would come into it. It was a whole thing just to figure it out, and that was on a level of a guy in the Army, not the leader of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would love to answer Brian from Tennessee's question here. Yeah. So maybe I'm an anomaly, but Seth knows this. I am not a Trump guy.
I'm not either.
Me either.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him.
You are, Seth. Come on.
All right, I'm a Trump guy because I want to vote for him, but I would have voted for anybody other than him too.
Right. I mean, but we're in an era now where you cannot vote for a politician anymore. You're voting for party, whether you like it or not. I mean, 10 years ago, I used to take pride in saying, "Hey, I'm all about voting for the man or the woman," but you can't do that anymore. You're voting. You got to vote for your party. But to answer your question, I know there's a lot of people, a lot of MAGA people that Trump, MAGA, America. I don't know. I don't know why so many of them idolize him. Maybe it's because Trump did and said what we always thought every politician should do. I remember thinking to myself over the years, why don't we stand up to the Arab countries? Why don't we stand up to Russia? Why do we pussyfoot around? And here comes Trump, and he's doing everything we thought and said he should do. And half the people said, yeah, this is it. The other half of people, they got scared. And they're like, oh, shit, we really have a politician in there that's saying and doing this.
It's true.
Well, that's what I liked. I liked a politician that was sitting there and saying things that I was saying to myself, or, I'm using language sometimes that I use. It's not these stuck up same people that are in there year after year. Look, I've talked to so many politicians. I know what went down. I know that these politicians back in the day, Republicans and Democrats, would sit there and hate each other on the camera. And as soon as those lights went off, they went out to dinner together and were shaking hands and having a good time, having drinks and going to each other's houses and parties and everything else. And they were just abusing us Americans. And they were using us to divide each other. And they still do that.
Right.
Trump was the one that didn't.
Yep. Yeah. So, to quote Dan Bongino, he said it best: the Republicans may not be the answer to all of your problems, but you can bet that the Democrats are the cause of all of your problems.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about why you're actually here.
Sure.
Other than to talk politics, but you got a big event that you're starting on Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, I'm actually the only one conservative in America that rides a bike. No, there's more of us, but we're a minority. So I'm biking from John Carroll University at 8:30 Thursday morning, all the way down to...
Wait, hang on. Let me guess. John Carroll University is what, University Heights area?
Yeah.
Cleveland Heights, University Heights, somewhere around there?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
So I think you're going to go from John Carroll to downtown Cleveland.
Sort of.
Almost.
Because that would be a hell of a ride.
It would be a long ride.
Yeah, it would be. But no, we are going from John Carroll all the way down to Cincinnati Reds Stadium on the Ohio Riverfront. 350 miles this year is the total mileage that we're taking.
350 miles.
Yeah.
I don't like driving that far.
I was going to say, I would get out of my car after that drive and be like, oh, my knees, my back, everything. You're like riding a bike.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing it to raise money for the American Cancer Society. It's for a good cause. And the way I think of it is, even though we love biking, to bike that distance is a lot of suffering. And Seth, you know this with what you've told me about your stepmother going through her cancer battle. We don't suffer nearly as much as these cancer patients that are going through chemo and radiation. And we're doing this over 4 days. They chemo. I don't know of a 4-day chemo treatment.
No. Wow, it's a disease that just ravages you. And I don't really want to get into the conspiracy theories on cancer tonight, but I mean, it's shocking to me.
I'll come on anytime and talk about that, by the way.
Yeah, and we will.
They hate it when I do, but yeah.
It's shocking to me that after all the money and everything that goes into this, that there's not an overnight cure for cancer, but what you are doing. How many guys are? Yeah, that is true. How many guys are taking this ride?
I don't know the exact number this year. It's usually between 300 and 400 riders. And some of them come from other countries to do this ride.
Are there women in that ride?
Oh yeah.
Too? Okay.
Yep.
How do you go? Do you go on main roads? Do you go on back roads? I mean, that's a lot of biking.
Yeah, well, they keep it as rural as possible. Obviously, coming out of John Carroll, we're going to have a police escort that's going to take us through the University Circle area. And then we head actually north on MLK. There's a lot of extra miles on day one that, are unnecessary, but it's the only way we can get out of the city. And we're going to go along North Marginal Road there, past Burke Lakefront. We'll head out to Lakewood, and then we'll finally hit the Rocky River Reservation. And then we finally start heading south towards Cincinnati. So we're going to get a good 30 miles in before we actually start going in the right direction.
Now, is it all roads, Greg, or is some of it like dirt roads or?
It is all pavement.
Okay.
It's about 65% bike paths. Ohio has an extensive network of bike paths. It's pretty amazing.
Look, I used to take Route 42, which is basically Pearl Road, all the way down to Cincinnati when my wife and I didn't like highways. We're okay with them now, but for a while we didn't. And we it would take us 6 hours to get down. How long does this bike take and how many times do you stop?
So they have stops for us every 20 miles. And if we get into extreme heat, they'll set up stops every 10 miles. So they take great care of us. I do almost all the stops because you got to keep hydrated.
Now, do you spend the night?
Yeah. So day one, we'll go to College of Worcester.
Okay.
And we'll stay overnight in the dorms there. Day two, it's it's either Wittenberg or Otterbein down by Columbus there. And then day three is out in Dayton. It's Wright State, and then down, and then we finish in Cincinnati.
Wow. I'm trying to do the math here. How long does it take you to do 20 miles?
It takes a tad over an hour, depending on the terrain. I average anywhere from 18 to 20 miles on flat roads.
Jeez, oh man.
Look, my wife and I don't like taking a trip to Columbus without spending the night because we think it's too far to be driving back and forth.
You know what though? It's have any of you ever ridden a Harley?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Think of it as a Harley in slow motion and really getting up close in nature and really being able to see Ohio from a different viewpoint. Even when I bike downtown, it's just amazing to be riding in between all the towers and it's a completely different view.
How do you avoid your back not feeling like it's just pulling out of its skin? Because that's the feeling I used to get when I rode my motorcycle. Is I'd go 100 miles or something, and I'd be like, oh my god!
I gotta tell you, this is the first year that I've gotten this upper shoulder pain. And it's old age here, but I may have to go to a more upright bike in the near future. But lower back is amazing for me. In fact, I've pulled my sciatic nerve.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have had that.
Yes, that's awful.
I get on my bike and I get down in that position. Oh, it feels so good. Except when I hit a bump. If I hit a pothole, forget about it.
Right?
It's so weird that you would compare the biking to riding a Harley slowly. You don't have to move your feet and your legs and everything else when you're doing a Harley.
Well, I guess that would be an e-bike at that point.
Yes, Rick says I need to get Seth a bike like a 3-wheeler powered by hands.
Hey, I told you about that, Seth.
Yeah.
They do have those hand bikes.
I need training wheels though. I haven't ridden a bike in forever.
You get arms like Hulk Hogan.
This may be a dumb question, Greg, but I'm going to ask it anyway. To ride that far, my brain personally, I would drift. I would be drifting off and watching the mountains or the trees or the woods or whatever. How do you stay focused enough to not end up in the middle of a road or in the middle, in the middle of traffic or whatnot? How do you keep yourself focused for 4 days of riding?
My mind definitely drifts. I mean, I'm focused, especially on the trails. I drift because I'm not worried about cars. Right. But I mean, I'm still paying attention to the things around me. It's kind of like when you're in your car, just kind of thinking. But I really just think about a lot of things while I'm biking, and work
do you
through
listen to music?
Whatever. Yeah, I do actually. On the roads, I'll only do one earbud, but on the trails, I'll do 2.
Okay. So are you guys, can you still donate to this cause, or are you guys looking for people or volunteers?
Yeah. So if you want to donate, I made it really easy. You can just go to my website, djgregmack.com, and that's MACK. So DJ Greg Mack, all one word.com. And it's right there on the home screen. And we definitely need volunteers. And I would recommend, let me pop it up here on the computer. See if I get you an easy website here. Okay, yeah, acsevents.org. That should take you, if you tool around there, that should take you to the Pan Ohio Hope Ride and links to volunteer.
And what is that one more time?
acsevents.org. Let me go there and just make sure. Oh, yeah, it lands right on it. Alert about the Pan Ohio Hope Ride. Ways to participate. Yeah, they've got it right there. We need water stop volunteers. I'm sure we need SAG drivers, people to help with logistics. Because you think about it, they're moving all of our luggage. Let me bring you back up here. They're moving all of our luggage from location to location while we ride.
Okay.
There's a lot of things involved behind the scenes. It takes 3 volunteers for every rider to make this ride happen. So you're looking at potentially 900 volunteers.
Wow.
Is how many they need. And hey, it's a free hotel stay where, if you're going to volunteer down in Cincinnati on Sunday, it's a free hotel stay in Cincinnati,
That's nice.
Yeah. But we need them in all 4 markets. In fact, I was shocked to see one of our first water stops at Wallace Lake in the Metro Parks, Cleveland Metro Parks. We don't have people yet for that.
Really? What day is that?
That's day 1. That's Thursday morning.
All right, tell Josh that I need a day off.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a blast too. It is such a blast. In fact, I'll put on my personal Facebook page. I'll be doing photos and videos from the ride as it happens.
Nice.
But if you guys want to steal them off my page and repost them or whatever, feel free. But we ride for 6, 7, 8 hours, 9 hours if you're really slow. And we've got a lot of slow riders. You don't have to be Lance Armstrong to do this.
Sure.
We ride, and then every night it's a big party, big buffet dinner. And oh my God, they feed us. Do they feed us? And then afterwards, we go to the local bar and drink if you want. I can't drink and ride, but some of these people, they get hammered, and then they're at the start line at 6:30 in the morning the next day.
Well, I even eating, I can't see eating a whole big ass buffet and then getting on a bike in the morning.
Well, here's the thing: you are burning anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 calories a day on the bike. So your body just takes that food and you don't. I mean, you could just sit there and eat and eat and eat and eat. You don't stop yourself.
Now, what are the rules of guys coming up to support and just driving out to the buffet? And
I'm sure they'd frown on that.
How do you get back?
They have a charter bus that takes us back to Cleveland, and also that charter bus on Wednesday night brings everybody from Cincinnati and Worcester up here to Cleveland.
Okay.
Columbus. Yeah.
Wow.
Why not just go 150 miles one way, turn around, and come back?
That'd be boring. I personally hate out and back rides.
Really?
Yeah, I make a loop. I don't know if you've seen any of the rides I've posted.
Yeah.
Like I created a loop that took me to the Chagrin Falls area and up into downtown Willoughby, back down into Cleveland, back to home in Parma.
Wow.
You posted a loop the other day. It looked like the map of Australia.
Oh, that was yeah.
I was like,
yeah. That was yesterday.
I get tired like looking at your posts, and then I have to get up and go to work. I'm checking out Facebook. I see Greg doing these loops and everything else to get to work or back or wherever. I'm like, holy shit! I want to go back to bed after seeing your posts.
Well, a point I want to make too for people who are watching that maybe haven't ridden a bike since they were a kid, or oh, that'd be really cool, but I can't ride a bike, whatever. When I started this 10 years ago, I couldn't bike to the end of my street without getting out of breath. I bought a bike from Walmart, and I almost gave it up. I got so frustrated, and then I started biking every day. Did the towpath, and 2 miles became 5, which became 10, which became 20, and so on and so forth. And now I'm doing 100-mile bike rides, and I'm doing this 350-mile bike ride. Natalie, it's my pleasure. I mean, I'm riding. I have some selfish reasons. I lost my grandfather to cancer. My wife's a cancer survivor. So I ride in memory and in honor of a lot of people. So a lot of friends and family, awesome. Close family.
Well, you're feeling the love here, but people can donate djgregmack.com to donate.
Yeah.
And then it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, acsevents.org.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yep.
So it's a great cause, and I
absolutely.
Everybody is touched in some way by this disastrous disease,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing it firsthand now how it destroys not only the person with the disease, but family members all around it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's horrific. So.
And it's hard when my son went through cancer. He had cancer at 26. He's 30,
wow.
30. What is he? 31 now. But 5 years ago he had it, and I can tell. Not that you need any proof. You've been through it too. But every day seems to take forever, and you just feel so helpless.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that. We're all independent, and we all want to just fix things. That's how we're all kind of wired. And it's one of those things you can't fix. You can't really help. You just have to sit there and be supportive and try not to show weakness, because then they'll feel it and then they'll get weak. Mm-hmm. It's a weird, awful time when you're going through it with somebody. It really is tough.
It has a permanent effect on you. You may overcome cancer, especially if you go through chemo. I mean, that just ravages your organs, and you're never the same. Your immune system is shot for the rest of your life. My wife, it's funny. Somebody said, "Oh, your wife had the easy cancer. She had thyroid cancer." Okay,
the easy one.
The easy cancer. Okay. So they removed her thyroid, but in the process, they severed a nerve to her vocal cord. My wife worked in radio.
Oh boy!
In fact, she might have worked with you guys through Metro Networks at some point at MMS or 92.3.
Yeah.
But she came over to the Fish, was working middays when she got the cancer diagnosis, and then. Woke up from surgery, didn't have a voice.
Oh my God.
It was completely gone.
Wow.
And
it is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on today. It was about the time we wrap this show up. But I hope that people go to your website and donate. I hope people volunteer. And I please make sure that we get some pictures put up on your Facebook so we can see them, and
absolutely
we'll steal them. And
yes, please.
To see any ride. The only thing I hate about it, I'm sorry. I'm going to end this show on a bad note, and I'm sorry, and I apologize in advance for saying this. Because, Greg, you know that I love you. I consider you a friend.
Uh-oh. It's coming.
I despise these biker outfits, man. time that I'm behind one on a road and I see this
the spandex.
The spandex ass just staring at me, and I'm like, and I got a pointy helmet, and I'm sitting there going, this guy's, seat is going straight up his butt, and I'm
Chris, don't believe him. You should see the way he looks at me when I walk in the studio in my spandex.
He does.
I swear he's gay for me.
Maybe that's why I have a problem with it, because I'm checking you out too much, and it's bothering.
It took me 2 years and a very sore ass to finally break down and start wearing those things. I thought they looked ridiculous.
Is it? Do you have to do it?
You do. If you're going to do any kind of long distance biking, anything more than say 5 miles, you need it.
It's got the padding in it, right? It's got the padding built into the ass.
Oh, really? I didn't know there was padding in the ass.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of it. And then the because they're skin tight, they give you mobility. They're very flexible. So yeah, unfortunately, they look a lot better on the ladies than they do us.
Yes, yeah. But now that I know this stuff, don't be offended and don't call HR on me or nothing but at work. But I'm going to feel your ass next time you come in because I want to feel the padding.
All righty. It'll be our little secret.
Please have the cameras rolling for this.
Greg, I can't thank you enough again for coming on today, promoting this cause. Again, it touches everybody. And so please, everybody, donate, djgregmack.com.
All right. And hey, I look forward to coming back on, maybe as the angry conservative next time.
Yeah,
we can really get in the weeds.
Sounds good.
We're going to do that. And Jake pointed out that I say that I'm not a Trump guy, but yet I have a Trump logo in the background of my screen, and I've had it on there for the past month. So I guess I'm a little bit of a Trump guy. But
a little bit.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Seth.
All right, take care, man.
I will see you soon. Be safe out there.
I'll try.
All right, man. Good stuff. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
good cause, and he's entertaining to talk to, man. He's one of us, and
yeah, I'd love to have him come on.
I'm not going to tell you the stories of the flats because he'll have to tell you. I'll let him do that himself because I certainly don't want to do that.
He's a bit of a conspiratorialist too, right?
A little bit, and he's he's one of us, which I like, and so
I like that.
He's a good man, and I'm hoping that this ride goes well. Hope everybody is safe, all of them.
Hopefully it's not 100 degrees every day.
Yeah, I hope the weather holds out for these guys, and I think it's again, my family's going through some of this stuff, and
sure,
it touches a lot of people.
Yep.
Hope everybody has a great night too, and God willing, we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Anything planned yet? I don't think so.
No, not yet.
But
just a quick note before we go. No Chris Aiken Presents tonight. Eric and I are actually moving that to Tuesdays.
Really?
Yeah, we're moving it to Tuesday because it's becoming a pain in the ass for him with the travel.
Wow.
Like he's not home yet from here. We didn't even
By
talk
the way,
about your,
I did have a great time. Should we hold that for Wednesday?
We'll hold that for Wednesday. We'll talk about it.
I had a great
Wednesday.
time, and I didn't get to meet him, but we'll talk about it on Wednesday. It was a hell of a night.
Well, that's good.
We'll talk about that on Wednesday and much, much more because I'm sure the news cycle ain't going to end with this today. So
no, probably not. There's probably more to come.
There will be a lot more to come. So have a great couple of days. We'll talk to you Wednesday night at 4, and then we'll have extra content at 5:30 on Minds.
Yep.
My MDS.
Very good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. See ya.